The jam-packed, peaceful Upfield line opened in September of 1884 and was first known as the Coburg line, located in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. From reaching Upfield in 1889 up until today, the line has become a working museum with old signal boxes, secret wooden gates and lost sidings, making the line a very special one. To start, let's go and explore Macaulay Station.
Macaulay Station opened on the 1st of December in 1887 and has 290,000 annual passengers. The station was first opened as Macaulay Road, and just like many stations in Victoria, the road was dropped from the name on the 1st of May in 1909 to become Macaulay.
One of the most significant changes to the station happened in 1997 with the construction of the CityLink tollway right above the station. It had a drastic effect on the look and feel of the station, with the whole station essentially covered by the bridge. On the bright side, it's not too hard to stay out of the rain, and there are some really cool sidings that used to be next to the station, including a goods shed that's still there, I believe.
Macaulay and Kensington on the Craigieburn line has the shortest distance between stations on different lines in Melbourne, coming in at around 450 metres, which could be the closest distance between stations in Melbourne overall. But enough of this unique station. Time to head to Flemington Bridge. Flemington Bridge Station opened on the 10th of April in 1885 and has 287,000 annual passengers. 6 years after the station's opening, a spur line was planned to go from here to Pascoe on the Craigieburn line, which would have been very interesting. However, it was clearly never built. In 1997, when the CityLink was being constructed, Flemington Bridge acted as the up terminus of the Upfield line, with the tracks between here and North Melbourne not being in use. Now, I'm not too sure which bridge the station is named after. There are bridges at the up and down ends. However, it might not be any of them. Let me know down below if you know. Flemington Bridge, it's a pretty good station. But now, let's head to Royal Park. Royal Park Station opened on September the 9th in 1887 and has 357,000 annual passengers. On May the 8th in 1888, the Inner Circle line opened and Royal Park became a junction station between the Upfield line and the Inner Circle line. And just past Royal Park, you can see where the Inner Circle line junctioned off. The historic Melbourne Zoo is located just next to the station, and the zoo has a station entrance for easy access between Royal Park and the zoo. A very historic crossing, which is nice, right next to the very historic station buildings.
A really cool part of the station is Route 58 tram heading under the tracks just past the station heading to the city, and that's been going for quite a few decades now, which is really interesting.
Royal Park is a jewel of a station, and now let's head to Jewel Station. Jewel Station opened on September the 9th in 1884 and has 443,000 annual passengers. Jewel was named South Brunswick until February of 1954, and it was renamed after James Jewel, who served in the State Parliament for 39 years. At the northern end of the station lies the now disused signal box in its beautiful original condition, despite a bit of graffiti. And at the southern end of the station are the old crossing gates that, despite not being in use, are very cool. There is also another little building at the southern end which is in a beautiful original condition as well. All of these things and the station building behind me are now Victorian Heritage listed and a big part of the station and line's history. Speaking of the station building, it was constructed in the late 1880s, and its beautiful red brick and iron veranda is really pretty. It really makes it a jewel of a station. And now, enough of jewel, time to head to Brunswick. Good old Brunswick Station opened on September the 9th in 1884 and has 395,000 annual passengers. Just like Jewel, Brunswick has its beautiful old signal box gates and station buildings Victorian heritage listed, and they're very, very pretty. At the up end of the station, we have the old gatekeeper's cottage, some levers, and the old level crossing. Sidings were located at the down end of the station and were closed prior to the 1960s.
Interestingly, there is still a semaphore signal near Brunswick still around today. How cool is that? Thank you to Bus and Doom for this clip.
Brunswick is another awesome station, but now let's head to Anstey. Yeah, let's head to Anstey, let's head in. Anstey Station opened on December the 15th in 1928 and has 465,000 annual passengers. The station was first named North Brunswick, renamed to Anstey on the 1st of December in 1942 after another Member of Parliament, Frank Anstey. Although both platforms have beautiful station buildings, the huge mural outside of Platform 1 takes the show, as well as the massive silo past the station where many sidings used to be. And now let's swipe into the new station at Moreland. Yeah, boys. Moreland Station opened on the 9th of September in 1884 and has 381,000 annual passengers. Prior to the rebuild, there was a footbridge at the down end of the station. Unfortunately, it has since been demolished, but good piece of history. And there is a disused signal box at the up end of the station, and when I'm filming, it is still here. Hopefully, it is restored in the future. As a part of a level crossing removal project, Moreland was rebuilt to become an elevated station. That is very unique. The old station closed in July and the new station opened on the 14th of December in 2020.
How cool is that? You can see the silo we mentioned in Anstey, and any trace of sidings is now gone due to level crossing removals.
Another very good touch is the sign that helps you get where you want to go. Whilst I'm here on the 11th of January, the old station building is still here, however the area is yet to be upgraded and redeveloped, and just through there you can still see where the platform edge was and the yellow line. And now without further ado, let's go to Coburg. Coburg Station opened on the 9th of September in 1884 and has 921,000 annual passengers, making it the busiest on the line, except for North Melbourne, by over 450,000. Although the line past the station to Fawkner was duplicated in 1959, the station didn't receive a second platform until 1995. A disused signal box is located at Munro Street past the station, and Bell Street level crossing received boom gates in 1962. Along with Moreland, Coburg was rebuilt as a part of the 4 level crossing removals in the area, with a new elevated station, very cool, with a mix of retro and modern. Also like Moreland, the old station building is still here and is a very nice historic touch to the station, hopefully being restored to its former glory very soon. And with that, let's head to our next station at Batman. Batman Station opened on October the 8th in 1889 and has 335,000 annual passengers. The station opened as Bell Park but it was closed on the 13th of July in 1903, reopened 11 years later in October of 1914.
Yes, I know it's Batman, but I just couldn't resist.
This was when the name was changed to Batman, named after John Batman, one of the main individuals, who founded Melbourne. One really cool thing about the station is that it used to have a siding opposite platform 2 that went to Lincoln Mill. It was closed prior to 1970 after over 40 years in service. And now let's jump into Merlinston. Merlinston Station opened on the 8th of October in 1889 and has 393,000 annual passengers. The station was first opened as North Coburg, and just like Batman, Merlinston closed for 11 years, reopened in 1914 as North Coburg. It was not changed to Merlinston until 1922 after a real estate subdivision in the area. Fascinating stuff. The man, the myth, the legend, Allen Iverson, is at Merlinston. How good.
Here at Merlinston, there's even a little library. How cool is that?
In the late 1990s, Shorts Road level crossing was removed, with the road on both sides becoming a dead end. And until 1998, the tracks past the station became one, until the line was duplicated to Gowrie in 1998. But before we go to Gowrie, we must head to Fawkner. Fawkner Station opened on the 8th of September in 1889 and has 215,000 annual passengers. The station was first named Fawkner, however it closed in 1903, reopening 3 years later in 1906 as Fawkner Cemetery, which is located right next to the station. Now the main attraction of the station is the hearse car that ran along the line for 33 years between 1906 and 1939. As you can see from this sign, the cars were sold for scrap in 1952, but this one was discovered in 1990 and restored to its former glory. It resumed the name Fawkner in 1914 when the rest of the stations on the line reopened, and the station also served mortuary trains until 1939. Until 1959, it was the terminus of suburban trains, with the almighty AEC rail motor Beetle serving the line past Fawkner for 31 years. In 1998, the station finally got a second platform, and the line past the station was duplicated to Gowrie. So we have the good old 1998 building, and we have the beautiful old building with Melbourne's rail projects. Check him out on Instagram. Although the station is quite nice, it can feel a little dead sometimes. Swiftly moving on, let's head to Gowrie. Gowrie Station opened on the 16th of October in 1928 and has 321,000 annual passengers. Gowrie was originally named Rail Motor Stopping Place 21 and opened as a part of the reinstatement of passenger services in 1928. Plans for the future will see the line duplicated to Upfield and beyond, as well as the reopening of Campbellfield. Campbellfield Station opened in 1889 and closed in 1956, and today no trace remains of the station. The station was located at Camp Road level crossing, which was removed in 2017 with the rail going under the road. Interestingly, the removal left not only room for a second track, but a new station as well. So who knows, we might see Campbellfield reopened very soon. Pretty stock standard station at Gowrie, and now let's head to the terminus at Upfield. Upfield Station opened on the 8th of October in 1889 and has 366,000 annual passengers. The station first opened as North Campbellfield, however it closed on the 13th of July in 1903. It reopened on May the 5th in 1928, closed again on May the 5th in 1956, and reopened on May the 17th in 1965 is Upfield and stays open today. The station received upgrades in 2002 and 3, and the stabling yard to the north of the station opened in 1997. The last rail movement past the station to Somerton on the Craigieburn line was in October of 2003, and ever since then the line has remained abandoned. The Network Development Plan released in 2013 sees the revival of the Somerton Link, which once saw many freight trains run along it. Trains to Seymour are planned to run along this link if it is reopened. And there you go, that's Upfield Station. And there you go, the Upfield line. One of the quietest on the network, but jam-packed with history. And, of course, it has a station called Batman. Thank you guys for watching another video. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and as always, let me know down below of any video suggestions or feedback. This has been the Train Man, and until next time, goodbye.